This is
Make It Plain.
Make It Plain.
MIP
With Masamela Matfumo.
Mark Thompson.
Make It Plain.
Get woke.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to a very special edition of Make It Plain. Big news. There's a brand new podcast dropping. We want to tell you all about it. And we have some of the not only stars, but those who wrote it, directed, produced it. One of whom is no stranger to the Make It Plain audience. We're happy to welcome back the executive producer of Red for Revolution, which won at Tribeca. Renée Wilson is in Red for Revolution as well as being the executive producer. Renée, welcome back to Make It Plain. We appreciate you. Good to see you again. And we also have with us Jana Naomi Smith. She's the writer, director, and creator. Welcome, Jana. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mark. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. Congratulations on everything. And then the lead playing in the role of Jazmine James in Red for Revolution is Jordan Hull. Jordan, welcome. How are you?
Good. Good to be here.
Good. Glad to have you. And last but not least, our brother is here. Alimi Ballard. He plays Leroy in Red for Revolution. My brother, how are you?
I'm doing well, brother. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you all.
Well, congratulations to all of you. You know, I want to start though, Jan. I want to start with you. Tell everyone what happened at Tribeca.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you first for having us, and also thank you for coming to Tribeca. So you got to be there to witness that wonderful day. Well, we premiered at Tribeca in June, and the audience was very enthusiastic about our show and our project. So that was really heartwarming to see people resonating with the project. And then a couple days later at the awards, we took home the top prize in our category for audio fiction at Tribeca. And I know Renée will probably say that she saw it coming, but I did not. So I was
Why not? Why
very
didn't
excited.
you see it coming?
Why didn't I see it coming? Well, I think, when you're creating something and you've been around it for so long, it's easy to get lost in that. And you never know how, it's a big risk. Renée and I going on this journey together. You have no idea from the start to the end if anything will be any good or if people will resonate with it. And, so it was a leap of faith. And I didn't know where we were going to end at the end of the journey, but it did end in a big Tribeca win. So I'm very happy, but I definitely did not, go in with that expectation.
And so, Renée, you always knew. Is that what she's saying? You always knew this was going to happen?
I did always know. I just had a feeling. I knew we needed to submit to Tribeca. I get a million emails sometimes from like Film Freeway or whatever, and I never open them. And then I had Tribeca kind of in the back of my mind. I was like, I know that's coming up. It's coming up. But we were like in post. We were working. And I got this email. I said, let me open this up. And it was like, submissions for the Tribeca Festival due, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we need to get up in here, And so I just felt like the whole time it was just kind of divine timing. All the signs, all the lanes were pointing go. And, we got it together. We got our first episode in. And then we took home the whole thing. And it was just amazing. And everyone here on this call was there. And the love was in the room, palpable. And we went, I had a feeling. And my son was like, don't say if you win, say when you win. I was like, yes, sir. I'm going to say when we win. So I really always held that. I was holding that vision for all of us. And I wanted it. I just knew it was going to happen. So when it happened and they actually called our names, it was like, so it was a really good feeling.
Great. Jordan, you're the lead. You're excited about the podcast dropping and about the whole project. How'd you get involved?
I'm super excited. I got involved because through Jennifer Beals, we worked together on the L Word, and she was just over the moon with this project and kind of got me connected and got to know everybody. And it's like one of those things where the best things are kind of unexpected. Like it wasn't the traditional route to a project. It was just through like good people. And it's been a really, really cool journey.
You said it wasn't just, so does that mean most of the projects, the route is through bad people? That's troubling. Not unbelievable though, not unlikely. I just want to,
Well, yeah.
Good, we got good people for a change. Lord have mercy. I know that to be a fact. These are good people.
Yeah.
No question. Alimi, what about you? How'd you get involved?
I was involved through Renee. She had reached out. I'm not sure if she reached out directly or it came through management or agent or not. But I remember, hearing the title of it and going, wow, I wonder what that is, and taking a read and being completely smitten by it, with a beautiful world created. And I was like, oh yeah, I would love to lend some spirit, to lend some energy to that story. What a unique story. Just like that.
No, that's wonderful. Had either of you been avid followers of podcast dramas in general? No, me either. I listen to some.
Yeah.
And I will say this. I don't know about you. I'm one of those kind of people. I don't always, I do my show, but I don't always like to listen to myself. And I stumbled upon one. I don't remember who did it, Renee, but someone did a really incredible podcast drama, kind of biographical piece on Louis Armstrong. I could probably look it up. And it was so entertaining listening, because what the audio does, it expands the imagination. I was like, that's really cool. So when Renee even called Unworthy Me and asked me to be involved, I was so touched and excited because it is great. Folks, it is excellent. It sounds great. You will get lost in it. Jana, tell us a little, without giving too much away, because I want everybody to listen to it and download it. Tell us a little bit about the story and how this even came about. It's really an extraordinary story.
Oh, wow. Every time someone poses that question, it's such a loaded, you'd think it would be a basic one, but it's so loaded and it can take forever to articulate how the series came to be and what it's about. But let me tell folks just a bit of what it's about first. And essentially, as you pointed out, Mark, it is a fictional story told completely through sound. So this is an experience, an immersive experience for your mind and your ears. And essentially, there have been numerous iterations in various forms of Red for Revolution. From a short film, it turned into a TV pilot, and then eventually adapted it into this audio format. And like I said, at each turn, I had a different reason for approaching the story, but my reasoning behind adapting it into the audio form had a lot to do with the overwhelming amount of homophobia that I was witnessing at the time a few years ago. And that really angered me. And in response to that anger I was feeling, I set out to, rid the world single-handedly of homophobia by making an audio project.
Come on. I'm with you.
I say that jokingly, but that's really what I felt. I felt an urgent need to sort of counter the homophobic noise that I was witnessing. But prior to that, I simply wrote this story because I was applying to grad school. And we were given a prompt in the application that had to do with love at first sight. And I wanted to sort of subvert the cliche notion of love and do something different that wasn't about romance or even platonic love. And I decided to sort of write a short scene about love, of movement, of revolution. And that scene is still in the show. So if you tune in on February 4th to the first episode, you'll get to hear what I'm talking about. And then from there, I've just really always been, even from as a youngster, and this is something Renee and I bonded over when we first met, being kids who were really enraptured by the Lena Hornes of the world and the Abby Leakins of the world. And, later when I was in college, being coming into knowledge about the Angela Davises and Asada Shakur's and the Erica Huggins of the world. And I sort of wanted to tell a story that celebrated these women who have had a tremendous impact on my life.
No, and it is a tremendous story. The love story and the revolution, and the love for revolution. Renee knows I love revolution. That's probably my one of my full-time jobs. So Renee, how did you get involved in this, and what does this story mean to you?
Well, I knew you were gonna be perfect for it. I just want to address that. So there was none of this wishy-washy. I was like, my brother is a revolutionary and loves love and in all the forms. And so I'm just really grateful that you were able to join us on this journey. I mean, your voice is amazing. So thank you. Um, and for me, well, Jana and I met, I don't know how many years ago it is now, what, 5 maybe?
You don't got to say the number. It's
Yeah,
okay.
no numbers. But we met because we had both entered this film kind of competition with our scripts, and we both won. We were one of maybe, I don't know, 10 finalists, and this company was going to make our work. But then, like, I was having like some issues on my side with the legal, and I was like, oh. And then Jana posted something on a film group we're in, and she's like, oh, I won this award. I'm looking for a DP or something like that. And so I just wrote to her. I was like, hi, I also won. I was just curious if you wanted to talk. So then we started chopping it up, and I was like, yeah, I'm having a bad experience too. And so basically we both decided to pull out of that whole experience. So we met kind of in a bad situation, but it brought us together. And then maybe a year later, Dana sent me an email with her pitch deck and the scripts, and was saying that she was going to make this podcast, and she wondered if I knew any friends in LA in New York who were musicians, because I'm a musician as well. And I said, well, yeah, let me take a look at it, and I'll see who I can think of. And so I was reading everything, and literally the moment I opened the documents, and I was sitting in the bathroom, like reading it and trying to be quiet, not to wake up anybody in my house. And I stayed up till like 2:00 in the morning just reading what she sent me, the scripts, and I was immediately drawn in. I was enthralled. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I just sent her an email. I don't remember what I said, but like, do you have more scripts? This is amazing. I'm so excited you're making this. La, 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 la. And then, I read it, and I was like, can I please like help you make this? And so that was how we became partners in this. I just really loved it and believed in it from the start. I felt like it was a story that needed to be in the world, and I wanted to bring whatever I could to the table to help make that happen. And it really began with Jana, and then the two of us, to what we see now. So it's really just a testament to just faith and belief and divine order.
So let me just say to the audience, Renee was talking about my role. I have so no one runs from the podcast. My role is not that big, so don't worry about that. I have a sort of a cameo, kind of playing myself almost as a host. So you all will definitely want to check this out. It is excellent. Jordan, in spite of me, Jordan, the role that you play in the lead, did you find any affinity with that lead character, Jazmine?
Yes, of course. I think what I really connected to it was just being a young queer person and dealing with the intergenerational gaps and how to bridge the gap between people's relationship with their sexuality, also like her relationship with her grandmother and elders. And I just thought that's a thing that I know it's very near and dear to me as Jordan. So to do that through Wolfsman was like the point of being an actor. Like it was a really awesome experience.
And Alimi, how did you relate to Leroy?
One of the things I love best about this character, and I think for me, what made me want to jump in and lend spirit to it, right? Lend my voice to it, is they love revolution, right? So I got that. Him and Ella, the young Ella, they love revolution, right? But their love is so pure for, at least his love is so pure for it. He's a male, right? In a time where views toward loving who you love were so constricted, right? And they still are in a lot of parts of the world. But for him, it didn't even register that she loves who she loves, right?
Mhm.
His issue was the kind of person she was. You understand? Like he's looking at the singer, like you love her, like not because she's a woman, but like what her interest is she about revolution. Like it
Right.
goes right past him that it's a woman. That doesn't mean anything to him. He
Mm.
wants to know if you're committed to the cause. And I'm like, that's my dude. You know what I mean? You're not you dating when you dating the zebra. The zebra ain't about the revolution, sister. Like he's so locked in to positive change.
Mm.
Not that he knows how to do it, not that he has all the answers, but that desire, that intention, and working toward it. It's like he's so into the revolution and the true desire for it, and he sees her as a peer, as a sister, and part of the brain trust. He just wants her to stay locked in the revolution and not start chasing somebody who's gonna take your interest into fur coats and nonsense. And I love how simply that's like a natural goodness to me.
Mm.
I saw him. He didn't have to work to understand that she loves who the hell she loves. And I'm like, that's my dude. I would love to present that guy through my spirit. And that's what completely pulled me in. And then all the other pieces of it, my mom comes up in this time. I can get into my dad, my mom, and growing up in that world, my mom was part of the Grandessa Models with Kwame Brathwaite, back in the 60s. They coined the term Black beautiful. That happened at a fashion show in Harlem in 1962. My mom, when I was a kid, I'm from the Bronx, bro. My mom used to tell me she's a model. My mom's a short little round brown girl. I used to be like, my mom be telling the craziest stories to me. I'm like, why she be lying so much? Why she be lying so much? And so a couple of years ago, it was at an art gallery, a very fancy art gallery, and hosted by Kwame, the son of Kwame Brathwaite, Kwame Brown, Brathwaite Jr., and what's my man Jesse Williams, actor, political activist, and there was an exhibit called Black is Beautiful, and I'm looking at a poster of my mom in all African garb from 1968. I'm still in heaven with the baby Jesus. I ain't even born for a couple of years yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at this photo. So she's actually a part of a seminal aspect of American culture. So she wasn't telling me tall tales. I'm like, look, mom, who you modeling where? I'm like, I just see my mom look like Naomi Campbell. She chocolate and tall and beautiful. I'm like, okay, mom, you model. I'm a little tiny little brown lady, round. I'm like, what was you modeling, girl? And so this story takes place in the time that would have affected her work. She would have lived right through this moment. You know what I mean? That came out of Jana and her creativity. You know what I mean? So I just felt like there's a texture of it that definitely is connected to me, and that I could see my mom living in this world, and then Leroy being so imperfectly beautiful. I loved it.
When you visit Arizona, time is measured in moments, not minutes. Like the moment you see the Grand Canyon for the first time. Visit a new state of mind. Learn more at hereyouareaz.com.
Now, and the other thing too, Jana, in addition to the big stars we have here today, you've got some pretty other big heavyweights in here too, don't you? Tell us about some of those folks.
We do indeed. So we have Miss Rutina Wesley playing Ella Ali in the 1970s. So she plays opposite Renee for most of the show. She and Lorraine Giovanni are telling this really epic love story. We have Miss Loretta Devine, who plays Lorraine Giovanni in the present day. And she was just also magnificent and really wonderful to work with. We have Epatha Merkerson, who plays Ella Ali in the present. So that's Jordan's, aka Jazmine's grandmother, the revolutionary. And we also have Miss Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor, who popped up, and she was actually our first person to say yes to being in this project. We have Jennifer Beals, and as you know, she's how we got connected to Jordan. And I will just say that was such a divine thing that happened. We had tried to cast a couple people, and for whatever reason, those things didn't work out. and we were sort of scrambling, didn't know who we were going to cast. And so when Jennifer pitched Jordan, that all really came together really beautifully. We have Mr. Danny Glover in the series. We're so honored that he agreed to take part in this as well. I mean, the cast is really stacked, as they say, with a lot of phenomenal talent, wonderful people who really showed up and showed out for us, even when we didn't necessarily. All of us are new to this, so new to this form and new to this experience, and so many folks didn't even know who we were, and they lent their voice and their time to this project. So we're really grateful for that.
And Renee, that says a lot about the gravity and the caliber of the project, doesn't it? That all these monumental folks wanted to be involved in.
Absolutely. I think that, the story just really resonated with folks. And we as a team, we've always done our best to not just have it be about the work, that the love is there, that the experience is there. And when we fall over ourselves, we come back, we apologize, we take responsibility. We just really tried to have our core kind of belief of radical love and love be a part of the whole process. And I feel like that came through in how we express ourselves about this project. I mean, the work in itself is phenomenal. And I think a lot of people saw themselves in it and wanted to be a part of it. And we had a wish list of people, and everybody said yes. Maybe one person. Then we have Vanessa E. Williams. It was just like blowing our minds like almost every time. And Jordan is one of our associate producers. And Jordan's amazing. I mean, we could not have asked for a better.
I feel like we're really talking about me, Renee. I'm sorry to interject.
I'm getting to you.
I think when I came on board, I think it was something, not Danny Glover or Loretta Devine. Anyway, I digress. I put.
Oh, no. I'm getting to you because I feel like you and I never met. We just kind of liked a couple of Instagram photos or something. And I remember when we were thinking about who to cast for your role, I was like, I really just think this is the brother for it. I said, I don't know this man, but I just like his spirit on Instagram and what he talks about and what he stands for. And we sent a note to your reps and you were like, yes, right away. You didn't even read it. You didn't know, you just came to it. And so that was happening all the time, Mark. And not just with our cast, with our crew, with everyone who had showed up for us, every step of the way. We just have angels all around this project. So,
well, yeah, and obviously a lot of great people. It led me, and I don't know everybody's name. I don't know if we have time to get in all that, but as one who has listened and done audio for most of his life, even the quality of the audio production is exquisite. So we don't take any of that for granted. Shout out to the people who put all that together, the editors, and all of that. This is really, really great. So now, Jana, you said this was a short film at first and then a pilot and had those iterations. So you know what's going on now. Now podcasts are becoming major motion pictures. So what are we talking about here? I mean, that's because as Renee knows, now full disclosure, I just had a small role in this, but once you get a taste of it, you can't let it go. I was in Fahrenheit 9/11, and brother Alimi, I haven't had nothing since then. Wesley, taking all the roles. I thought, and Terrence, I thought that would be my shot.
Yes.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I'm still going for the first Black 007. I'm gonna try out for that. But anyway, hopefully this will catapult me. Jana, how you feeling about that? This could really get even bigger.
I mean, that has always been the goal, to take it as far as it can go. So, whoever is watching this, if you have any resources, particularly in the form of a check to write, to produce a feature film or a television adaptation of the series, we're ready to go. That ain't nothing but a thing. We are all ready to take it to the next level. So we're going to see. We hope that people tune in on February 4th to listen to our show and that it resonates with people. and then we're in it for the long haul.
Lastly, Jordan, what was different about preparing for a role for a podcast versus preparing for a role on screen?
It's a good question. I think I automatically associate that to, radio plays. Like that's where like the start of most like film. I know a lot of like vaudevillian actors, TV, and like it's sort of the original like technique. So I think the condition was just getting back to basics, back to technique, and knowing how to concentrate a performance into just your voice.
Alimi, is this the same as voice acting? Have you done that before? I mean, some people act, some people, I don't think a lot of people do, start out training as voice actors at first, but some more doing it now. Is that what this is? Did you have to approach it that way? How did you get prepared for this as opposed to being on screen?
Oh, for me, it came, but I've done some voice work, you know what I mean? And so the technique involved in that for me is knowing how to stand still and don't move out of the microphone. Like when you start acting for the camera, not for the theater, you have to figure out that, you're lit. So you're going to be on chocolate. So they're going to light you. So if you move out of your light, black man, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be in the dark. So that's what going, from the theater to man to go into doing, soap operas in New York and then going to do sitcom work, film work, and television work. You have to you have marks. They have, camera focus. So doing the studio work, doing voiceover work, you can't move outside. You're not body mic'd. It's a stationary mic, and you're broadcasting into with your voice and your spirit right there. So it's very much familiar with locking into a camera and knowing that all of your energy needs to go in that direction. So I had done some work before, and so I was able to rely on that, know that technique. But I'm like a method kind of actor. So once I closed the wall, I remember doing some wonderful stuff with Renée. We just went off script because once the character descends upon me, I'm so locked into the world. I'm like, we can get on a bus. I can get on a bus in that character and be talking shit all day. So we did great improv, me and Renée. It was beautiful.
And I'm sure it was. And of course, Renée, you are Lorraine Giovanni in the 70s. Loretta Devine is present day. You all playing the same role. But the blessing too is for those of you who don't know, many in the audience already know Renée is a vocalist. And so we get to hear Renée as well.
Yes, that's the blessing for me to be able to use all my talents from behind the scenes to my voice to sing and to be able to act really is a dream come true. It's just like all the things I love in one role. So and much of the music is original music that came together so beautifully. Jana and Tammy L. Hall, Grammy winner Tammy L. Hall, who's a dear friend and just magnificent composer, and Jana the lyricist, and anyways, it's so much magic. So thank you. And also Jordan has a gorgeous voice and lent her voice to our series as well. So I'm so excited for everybody to hear everyone's brilliance. You sing. So yeah, I'm just excited for everybody to hear it, and it's finally here after our journeys, after our journey of just doing the path, doing the work,
Yeah. No, it's amazing. And one last question, Jana. Had Will Red for Revolution in homophobia in the world?
I don't know. Anything is possible, Now that was a huge undertaking, and I do think a number of artists we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to do very unrealistic things, and that was a unrealistic pressure, motivating nonetheless. We are all here today because of it, But will this project end homophobia altogether? Probably not. But I do hope that it is a vessel for healing and that it does help to make our world more loveful. So we'll see. I also want to give out a shout out to, you talk about the music and the sound design and all of these wonderful things. Our music director, Tammy Hall, is Renee mentioned, but our sound designer, we only had one sound designer. So one individual person who did the sound design for our show, and his name is Colin Thomas. And our producer, Liz McBee, has been on this journey with us for quite some time. So this project would not be here without their lovely and wonderful work as well.
Absolutely.
Did I leave anything out? Any of you have any closing thoughts or anything? And also, Jana, you got to give everybody the instructions. Let's get real specific. Give everybody their marching orders, their logistics. February 4th, where it drops, where to hear it, all of that.
All right, February 4th, the first episode premieres, and you can listen to Red for Revolution wherever you get your podcasts. So if you have Spotify, you can listen on Spotify. If you have Apple Podcasts, you can listen on Apple. If you have the iHeart app, you can listen on iHeart. If you're subscribed to Radiotopia, you can listen to Radiotopia, our wonderful partners in this journey as well. If you got a YouTube, you can go on YouTube. We're putting the show everywhere. So, head to redforrevolution.com to get all that information. February 4th, and then every week following February 4th, a new episode will be airing wherever you get your podcasts.
That's wonderful. Renee or Jordan or Alimi, any closing thoughts? Anything else you'd like to share?
Yes. It's lean into love. I am very grateful that this piece of artistry encourages people to lean into their humanity, lean into your spirit. There's an energy in our world right now to lean into cruelty, brutality, to narrow-mindedness, quite possibly posing as self-righteousness. that clown work right there.
Yeah.
And I love that it encourages you to lean into your humanity. What does your soul say? Inside of you is wisdom. Inside of you is beauty. And we as a human species need to lean into that. That's the gold. That's a goal, and that's the goal of our spirit. And so I encourage you to listen to it and watch how it promotes humanity, discovering and uncovering yourself, following where, your spirit leads you. This is a beautiful thing. So I want people to listen and be encouraged and be inspired by it. Maybe be delighted. So.
No, it's definitely is a thing of beauty. Jordan, any closing thoughts?
That too. What he said, yeah.
Indeed. Renee will give you the last word.
It's just incredible. And it really is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of art. So please tune in, join us on all the socials, Red for Revolution on Instagram. Come follow, be a part of our story. It doesn't end when the series ends. We want to come to your school. We want to come to your event. We want to come to your series and do listening events and partnerships and all kinds of things. So reach out to us and keep that love alive, and we can do it. So it's all love.
Red for Revolution, y'all, wherever you get your podcasts, please download and share it. Let everybody know about it. It's an incredible project. Just one other thing to say, this also vindicates having you all here on with me. Because you always got a handful of Black relatives who don't believe nothing you tell them. I say, y'all, I'm involved in the project and one in Tribeca. You ain't in no Tribeca. You in Tribeca. You ain't in no Tribeca. So these are type of things that help vindicate my life. I appreciate that. And let folks know I'm telling the truth. Jana, Jordan, Renee, Alimi, all part of Red for Revolution. This is great, y'all. You are going to love it. Please partake in it. Frankly, I think it's timely in this moment of great cruelty. backlash and white lash for us to do something beautiful that we can enjoy and that we can all share in. Trust me on that one. So you all be sure to take part in it. Thank you all for joining me today. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of this project.
Oh no, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the work that you're doing too, especially over this last year. There are very few people have been out here speaking truth to power, and you've been consistent every day. So
thank you. Give
just want to
thanks.
say that.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Red for Revolution, y'all. Check it out everywhere.
Thanks for getting woke and listening to Make It Plain. As always, perform an act of kindness on behalf of an elder or young person. Write a letter to a sister or brother who just so happens to find her or himself incarcerated. Offer libations to the ancestors upon whose sturdy shoulders we all now stand. And above all, give thanks to the God of your understanding by whatever name you call her and him. All God asks of us is that we give each other love. Thanks for giving MIP love. And please remember to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. If all hearts and minds are clear, it has been made plain.